Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just glad my phone is still recording because I thought I was going to be out of storage. I'm not going to lie to you.
Too low to the mall, with a couple capos and 100 fucking dimes. College slaughter gang, you get your shit popped. Draco with a drum, the bitch ain't never go stop. He on that line war shit.
Alright, let me just put my bonnet back on for this intro because I look a mess. I'm so sorry, y'all, that y'all had to see me like this, but anyways, what's up, y'all? It's Jeremy, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking to y'all a little bit about what I've learned dealing with depression, what I've learned about myself dealing with it, and just, different things like that. Also, while we do this, I'm gonna be doing my hair because I'm finna go to the movies, so I gotta get this hair under control somehow, some way. Gotta make it up out of the hood someday. So yeah, we're just gonna go from there. But anyways, before I start that, I just got out the shower, so I'm just not getting up for the day. I'm finna brush my teeth and wash my face, and then I can get to this hair. So I'm gonna do all that before we get further into the video. This how I wanna go. And the Pond's Dry Skin Cream Moisturizer. And that's literally all I be using because honestly, what I've learned with skincare, sometimes less is better when you just have a good routine. Looking better already. What? Okay, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, depression. So my depression started, I was in 5th grade, and I had just moved in with my dad. I lived with my mom my whole life, and so I just moved in with my dad for the first time. And I think what really set it off was just moving away from like my family that I've lived with for so long. Moving from the family that you know, that you're comfortable with and all this other stuff, to moving with someone that you really don't fully know for real, you know? And that's what was so hard about it. But keep in mind, I'm in 5th grade, so that's really not something that's on a 5th grader's mind. 5th graders don't think about stuff like that, like, oh, I don't really know, this person. They're just like, well, it's my dad. I should be living with my dad, so I'm gonna live with my dad. That's how it was for me. Moved from Oklahoma to Texas. So if y'all know anything, I don't know where y'all from, but if y'all know anything about Oklahoma and Texas, those are completely 2 different states. Not similar at all. Texas is really big, and Oklahoma is pretty small compared to Texas. In addition to me just moving from Oklahoma to Texas, which is Oklahoma, education systems are different. Like, I went from being at a predominantly black school to going to a predominantly Hispanic type school, and that was hard too. So there's just a lot of change that was happening. And then on top of all of that, I was starting to question my sexuality and stuff like that. So that's a hard time for people, and it definitely was a hard time for me. But I didn't come to terms with this is not a come out story, so I'm not gonna, but yeah, so y'all see how crisp that part is? I did my shit. Hey, I did my shit. Hey, I did my. Okay, boom. Like I was saying, I was starting to question my sexuality, starting to think like, okay, maybe I like boys, whatever, and starting to actually come to terms with it. So I would get bullied a lot, just because of how feminine I was back then. Well, nothing's changed, But I would get bullied a lot for that. And that kind of added to me feeling alone. And feeling alone and depression is not a good combination. So I triggered my depression to start. And then I felt like I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it because, you know, I was living in a 2-floor apartment, and basically I had the whole upstairs to myself. So I would kind of just stay and hide out up there from the world, for real. I was living in a 2-floor apartment with my father, with my dad, and he kind of stayed on the first floor and I stayed on the second floor because that's where our rooms were. And so he didn't really bother me, I didn't really bother him. And that kind of added to me being so lonely or feeling so alone. Yeah. And it's like I would feel the need to hide how alone I felt and how depressed I was feeling for whatever reason. And really, I think it's just because black men and black boys were raised not to show our emotions. And so, of course, I wasn't showing my emotions. And also, you know, I was going through questioning my sexuality. I didn't need anything to make me more feminine at the time. So that's kind of how my brain was working, and, you know, so, yeah. Now, after all of that, let's see, my depression really didn't get, what's the word? It didn't get as heavy until around 7th grade. And in 7th grade, that's when I had moved to a predominantly white school, and it was in Plano, Texas. So if y'all know anything about Plano, Texas, y'all already know. But that's when I did start to get a little suicidal at the time. And so I would listen to like very sad music, like be, you know, in my own little depressed world. And that's when it got really bad. It was from 7th grade all the way to around 11th grade. 11th grade was definitely my worst year. I had went to the mental hospital twice. But 11th grade was where I started to learn how to deal with and how to manage my depression for real. So it was from there that I started therapy. After my inpatient program, if y'all don't know what that is, it's like the mental hospital. It's called an inpatient program because you're inpatient. And then outpatient is the same thing, but it's where you are outpatient. So you living at home, you're not staying there overnight. And then, yeah. So from there is when I really started to learn how to cope. I started learning different coping mechanisms, I started learning about maladaptive coping mechanisms and which is basically just things you do that will really mess you up more and mess your depression up more, but it feels good in the moment. It's like an instant gratification thing. So you're getting instant gratification from it, but you know, it feels good in the moment, but sooner or later, it's gonna feel bad. An example would be like smoking weed, which, you know, which doesn't have to be a maladaptive coping skill, but it depends on how you use it, type of thing. Or drinking, whatever, you know? I feel like if the camera's crooked, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm really trying here. Everything's just really making me mad, kind of pissing me off, because the phone keeps falling. My hair not coming out right. Let me try to shake it. To curl some more. There we go. Okay, but yeah. So, on to the next part of this video. I'm just be telling y'all kind of what I've learned and what my experiences, what I've learned, you know, things that can help y'all that are struggling with depression. My hair is ugly. It's not, I don't know what's going on. but what I've learned and things that can help y'all. So if y'all hear a dog in the background, that's King. Please excuse his behavior. He's just being loud. But yeah, so let's see. The first thing that I've learned dealing with depression is that my emotions are not reality. So I've learned that emotions come and go, whereas, reality kind of doesn't. Reality kind of is the same. So you might feel up one day, down one day, but the reality of everything is still the same, if that makes sense. So I've learned that you have to kind of feel your emotions out, if that makes sense. You gotta go through the emotions and don't allow your emotions to change anything in reality, but allow yourself to feel them. Because if you push them down, they're gonna come out eventually, and it's just gonna be worse and worse and worse when they do finally come out. So that's why I say feel your emotions, allow yourself to feel them, and just kind of, take it one day at a time. I've also learned, because I am on medication for my mental health, I'm not gonna, disclose everything that I'm, every mental disorder that I have, or disclose all of my mental issues. But what I will say is that I am medicated for them, and I just learned that I have to take my medicine every day because, there's times where I'll be like, ugh, I don't feel like taking them, where I don't take them for a while. And trust me, those times I don't take them for a while, I've went maybe, the longest I went without taking my meds is probably a few months. And Lord knows, that was not a good idea because, oof, if y'all know the things that I've been through, the things that I've done while being off my meds. But anyways, I say all that to say, if you're medicated or if you're looking into taking meds, you need to take them every day or take them as prescribed. So however, it's prescribed for you to take them, you need to do that because your anxiety, depression, whatever you're going through will only get worse, And medicine is not, medicine is only half the work, is also what I've learned. So you got to go to therapy, do the other half of the work, and really put effort in to become who you want to become and to learn how to manage it. Because it's never going to go away. You're going to be living with this, dealing with this for the rest of your life. But once you learn how to manage it, you realize that that's just a part of who you are, which I still haven't learned how to manage it fully, but I'm on the path of learning how to work with my mental health and learning how to manage it. And so, yeah. Anyways, I just feel like, you just gotta do your shit for real. Be on it, be on your grind, work hard to, as much as you put into your physical health, you need to put into your mental health. And I know there's so many people who work out consistently. There's so many people who, y'all look at my hair. Is it cute? I can't tell. But who eat good and all this other stuff. But when it comes to their mental health, they won't do the same. So you really have to make sure that you're putting as much into your mental health as you're putting into your physical health, because they both matter. And your brain is a muscle as well. So you really gotta work that muscle. Let's see, what else can I say? Yeah, I really don't like my hair. I don't like my hair. I'm sorry, y'all. This is hard. Like, being a natural hair boy is hard. Okay. Especially shaping it, because, this is not what I'm supposed to be talking to y'all about. I'm supposed to be talking to y'all about depression. Okay, so next thing I've learned, I also learned about my manic episodes, and I'm finally starting to realize when I am in a manic episode, because it takes it took me a good amount of manic episodes to realize when I'm in one. Now I feel like I can recognize when I'm in one. It's still hard to get out of one, but I can recognize when I'm in one. And, I've learned that when I am in a manic episode, I make very impulsive decisions, which might not be good decisions, but they're so impulsive, and I genuinely don't care about a thing. I do not be caring about nothing when I'm in a manic episode. Like, I do what I want to do, and that's it. So, yeah. What I've learned now, just from being in them for so long, when I am in those manic episodes, I gotta take my time when I do stuff. Like, when I'm like, oh, let me do this, I gotta really think about it some more. And it'd be hard to think about it because your mind is telling you, do it. Like, why think about it? But it's just smarter to think about it, to be honest. And that way you don't make crazy decisions. So, I think I just need to put some mousse on this part, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing for real. I might be messing it up. Who knows? Was it cute before? Who knows? I don't know. Genuinely cannot tell. But yeah, that's just a little bit of things that I've learned. Not really calling this an advice video because, girl, I have so much more to go, and I really can't give nobody advice. I'm not a therapist. That's why I have a therapist, because I need one. But what I will say is, you know, I would take, shut up, King. I would take from my experiences, and I would just use my experience to try to use what I say to recognize when you're in those stages. Don't, you know, I'm not telling y'all what to do or whatever, but use my experience just so that y'all can recognize when y'all are in those manic episodes or when y'all are depressed. Because my depression looks a little different. I feel like everybody's depression looks different. But with mine, I'm very isolated. I isolate myself a lot because, you know, I just don't want to be around anybody. Like, when I'm depressed, I don't want anybody knowing I'm depressed. And it got to the point where I stopped caring if people know I'm depressed, because it used to be a very shameful thing. I feel like I used to be ashamed about being depressed, but now it's more of me not caring, like, about what people think, you know? Okay, it's 3:40, y'all. I've been talking to y'all for a pretty long time, but I feel like this is a pretty good rant session. It's not a rant. It's a pretty good yapping session. Let's just call it that. Okay, this is probably my final hair. I'm not gonna lie to you, because this is as good as it's gonna get. I don't know if it's gonna get better than this. I've tried. So, yeah. I wish I had a little edge brush, though. I think I do need to get me an edge brush so I can fix my little parts and stuff. Just go in and individually curl along this part so that I can define it a little bit. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just glad my phone is still recording, because I thought I was going to be out of storage. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what? I'm just making one big afro. I'm done with this little part. You know what? Maybe it's time for a wash day. What is this, honey? What is this? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. You need to shut up. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off now because I don't have that much time to get ready and I need to finish my hair or try to fix this somehow, some way. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this little yapping session, and if y'all did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if y'all got anything to say, or you know, tell me about your depression. Well, I don't know, that might be a little, but yeah. And if y'all have any more ideas for story times or any more ideas for anything like that, put them in the comments below. I will see you on the next video, and remember, always love yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will. And yeah, I will see you on the next video.